Are you feeling burned out? Trying everything, but getting nowhere? Your search is over, friend. You have found the squad that will lead you to glory. Welcome to the front lines of digital content creation. We are the Gaming Vanguard. What is up, guys? This is Nolfi Sama with the Gaming Vanguard, and you are listening to the Gaming Vanguard podcast, episode number 2. First of all, let me go ahead and thank everyone who listened to the first episode of the podcast. This is a amazing new journey that we are on here together. This podcast is going to change the way that you look at streaming and content creation. I'm certainly not going to sugarcoat anything on this podcast. I'm not going to inundate you with outdated strategies and things that do not work and that have been proven to be false. Again, like I will always say this to you guys. Being a streamer now is easier than ever. Anyone can do it, and the market is completely saturated. So if you're going to make it as a streamer, as a content creator in this modern era of streaming, you're going to have to think outside the box. You're going to need to partner with people who know how to navigate this confusing landscape of streaming and content creation. You can Google any of the things that I'm going to talk about on this podcast, and what you're going to get are companies selling some product or service who are just keyword stuffing their blogs and trying to pull in traffic and get you to, get hooked on whatever it is that they're selling. Okay, this is all we do at the Gaming Vanguard. For now, what we're doing is digital media marketing consulting, which means we are going to help you build your brand. And that is what we are going to talk about today, building your brand as a streamer. And the best way to begin this journey with you guys is to go ahead and dispel some of the myths about brand building. A lot of marketing people out there are going to tell you that building your brand is like a paint by numbers kind of process. Just take the approach that thousands of others have taken, and it surely will lead you to success. Yeah, unfortunately, no, that's not going to work in the landscape today. In the niches that you guys are going after, particularly like gaming, things like that, you really have to try harder and do better. And it's not always going to look like success. What you think in your head is going to be successful are probably the wrong ideas. So that being said, let's just jump right into it. Today, I've got 4 things that you can start doing right now to deprogram yourself from these ideas. Okay. Number 1, be yourself. Okay. We've heard this over and over and over again. This does not work unless you're an actual psychopath, because I guarantee you that you yourself are probably not that interesting. You're not interesting enough to get thousands of people watching you play video games. Okay. I mean, that's just the reality of it. It's 2024, guys. You have to be entertaining instead. Your personality is not going to get you there. Success as a streamer is going to have very little to do with your actual personality, because chances are your personality is not that great. Instead, lean into your weirdness. Accentuate the aspects of your personality that are unhinged. These are the things that people might have made fun of you for or bullied you for. Things that you might not want the world to find out about you. You're going to be uncool if you somehow out yourself to the world on stream about these things. I can tell you the number of streamers who have made it big because they outed themselves in such a dramatic fashion is staggering. Okay. They are being cringe. Maybe not even intentionally, but whatever it was, whatever the cringe thing that they did, put them over the top. It got them the eyeballs that they needed. So what I'm saying is lean in to your weirdness. Think of your stream as your own shadow work session, and you are letting your demons out. You're working through the issues that you should probably be working out in therapy, but you're not, because we know you're not going to do that. And that makes for good content. It really does. So if you have interests that are interesting, that's a good start, okay? But it's not going to be enough to carry your brand. You have to present them in a way that is, above all else, entertaining. You have to make use of tricks and psychological techniques to lure in your viewers, to get clicks, and to keep people interested. Throw those things that I just mentioned into a blender, mix them up, and you've got a really solid way of getting away from the be yourself myth. The be yourself myth needs to die a very quick and ruthless death, because it is killing people's streams. You know, I see so many people out there on a daily basis who just think they can ride by on their own personality, and they're just not achieving their goals. And it's painful to watch, because why waste your time? This job of streaming is not for everyone, okay? And if you're trying to ride on be yourself, it's not going to work. You need more. You have to be entertaining. You have so much competition, not just from other streamers, but from every other form of entertainment that is out there right now. You can doom scroll TikTok for 4 hours straight and get constant hits of dopamine every 5 seconds. How are you going to compete with that? Launching right into myth number 2, okay? Find what people want to watch. Seems legit. Seems like there's a lot of websites out there where you can find this information. Seems like you can just go out there and browse the various platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, whatever, and find what people are watching. What's the most popular category? I see this so much still. This is a dated tactic, okay? This is a 2012 tactic. This is like, okay, Fortnite's number 1. I'm going to play Fortnite. Better get good at Fortnite, because that's the only way I'm going to be good, is if I'm good at the game. And I don't have to be entertaining. If I just get enough headshots and get enough squad wipes, and my building is on point, then I can be the best there is, and I'm going to get thousands of viewers. No, you're not, bro. You're not going to. That's not what's going to happen. If I want to watch a good Fortnite player, I will go out and watch esports professionals play in tournaments that are being streamed by esports organizations, and not your personal stream. You know, I don't want to watch Michael Jordan shoot 200 free throws on his off time. I want to watch the Chicago Bulls play a playoff game and see Michael Jordan win MVP. The right game doesn't exist. You play what you want, and people will be pulled in by the interesting ways that you interact with your audience. Thousands of people tuned in to watch Tim the Tatman lose consistently in Fall Guys, of all games, okay? Cute little bean-shaped guys running and falling off the map, dude. Like, this game took over the world for a few years, but particularly this guy, an aging streamer of, moderate entertainment value, people were tuning in consistently to watch him play a game for what? He wasn't good at it. He was actually pretty terrible at it. Honestly, the community aspect of his stream carried him in that game and turned that losing streak into a meme. And then once he actually got a win, it became this sort of legendary callback that everyone was there to experience, and that he could build off of in future streams. I don't really think anybody wanted to watch him consistently lose, but the fact that he was doing it for himself and playing a game for himself that he wanted to play because he wanted to get that dub, that's what escalated that meme, that lore, that event into the level of iconic clippable content that it became. All right, number 3, keyword searches on various trending websites. You may be tempted to go out there and search for all the SEO keywords that you can possibly find that are going to somehow magically unlock the topics that you need to talk about on your stream, the things that you need to discuss to be interesting. Listen, talking about what everyone else is talking about in a boring way is not going to set you apart. In fact, it just makes you look like an NPC who is chasing headlines, especially if it's outside of your knowledge area. You'll come off sounding like an idiot on a topic you don't really care about to begin with, and not everyone is an expert on a given thing, and you shouldn't try to fake it like you are one. So a perfect example of this is a retro CRT content creator who I follow and watch and enjoy, and frankly, has really good informative content. However, this person also goes off on tangents sometimes on other topics, trying to branch out and get reach on different platforms. And so I got really turned off by one of the episodes where this guy was talking about cybersecurity and tech stuff that he just really didn't have a solid understanding of and grasp on. Because, look, not everyone is an expert on everything, okay? We know what you're able to go deep on, okay? You're able to go deep on CRTs. You're able to go deep on streaming technology, microphones, cameras, all that stuff. That's great. Everyone is coming to your channel and flocking to you in droves to hear you talk about those things. Why talk about cybersecurity, okay? Why talk about things that you have not really a solid fundamental foundation on in order to get views, in order to garner conversation in the comments? It just does not make sense. And then in between breaths pivots into political conversations. And those takes were just really uninformed and biased, and it really turned off, I feel like, a lot of the return viewers and stuff. And it's like, man, I hope a lot of people don't even ever discover this aspect of this creator, because you don't, if you're going to have hot takes on stuff, make sure that it's aligned with your base. And honestly, I don't think that is going outside your lane on cybersecurity, on politics, on tech stuff that is really tangential to what your normal content is. That's not a good look. So, to say the least, it may be a headline generator. It might be something that everyone is talking about. Doesn't mean that you have to talk about it, okay? Does not mean that. You don't have to be in every conversation. Be in the conversations that make you look good. Be in the conversations where you can really be a subject matter expert. Unless your shtick is just being a complete doofus and goofing off and not being taken seriously, then yeah, feel free to speak on literally everything. You're a joker. The joke is you. That's your brand. I see this a lot, and it's really easy to do this. And I feel like that's why a lot of people get the reach that they do, is because they are intentionally putting L takes out there with the intent of generating comments and feedback about their hideous takes. No one really honestly takes them seriously on what they're talking about. It's a different category of streamer. I guess what you would have would be like the Destinies and the Hassans. They are serious. And so when they comment on something, they're usually taken seriously on, their opinion on things. Theo Von, on the other hand, if he has a take on something political, it's going to be a goofy, funny time, and it's going to be not really taken seriously. If you have a take on politics and your primary channel is dedicated to streaming tutorials, I don't really know where that's going to land with me. And your audience is not going to resonate with something that kind of just comes out of left field like that. Anyway, we beat that one to death. The next point that I want to make here, the myth that I want to dispel, is about aesthetics. So your logos, your fonts, your panels, your theme, your overall, I guess this is what people think of when they think of branding. It's not what we're talking about. Branding is more of a feeling than a look. And in 2024, the aesthetics don't matter, guys. It's over. You don't need to try that hard, because the best of the best that are out there right now are putting almost no effort into this, because doing too much is a thing. You doing too much, bro. That's too cringe. We don't do that. It's cringe AF. These guys act like they're brain damaged, and their brand reflects that. They've got the minimalist OBS setup. You've got a webcam overlay over, and it's not even an overlay. It's just a webcam against the full screen game that they're playing. That's all you're ever going to get, dude. They do not care. You don't need all these fancy graphics. Scuffed was the new meta 5 years ago. The new meta now is just complete degeneracy. It's like sort of the same thing that happened in art. Modern art took over classicism, right? Totally threw that in the trash, and it iterated on forms that, were classically defined forms of colors and shapes, and who knows why or how or whatever is going on there. It's just the absolute purest take on what we as humans interpret art to be. If it's just colors on a page, so be it. That's modern art. If it's, a Van Gogh painting, that's a completely different thing. That's not what people are looking for. People aren't looking for Van Gogh or Rembrandt anymore. They're looking for something to reflect the absurdity of these times. And that's why Queso is as big as he is. And that's why Jinxie is as big as he is. All right, so we just scratched the surface. I gave you 4 myths that need to be dispelled. Number 1, be yourself. Number 2, find what people want to watch. Number 3, keyword searches. Number 4, aesthetics. Those things do not matter. They're myths. Erase them from your mind. Use the tactics that I laid out in this podcast. And if you want to go deeper, you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation over at gamingvanguard.com. Click the Book Now button, and we will set you up with somebody who can have a conversation with you about these things and more, and how to grow your stream, how to help you improve your content, and how to move forward, how to get likes, how to get follows, how to get more eyeballs on your stream, and how to grow as a streamer. So I genuinely hope that you found this discussion useful. I hope that you can begin to apply the things that we talked about today immediately. And I wish you the best in your streaming and content creation journey. Again, this is Nulfi Sama from the Gaming Vanguard. Be good to each other and yourself. Peace.